I'm coming at y'all a little differently this week because I stayed up to watch the HOH competition and I'm tired and I don't feel like doing a whole lot of editing, so it's just my voice. So it's time to talk about week 4, which was Angela's second HOH. But no, actually it wasn't because Quinn used his HOH deepfake and took over. The moral of the story for this week is 1, don't ever volunteer to go on the block because you could go home. And 2, don't make your alliance members feel like they're not equal parties in the alliance, even if they are not actually equal parties in the alliance, because they will turn on you with the quickness and completely blow up your entire game. I thought that this was going to be another week of all this ripping and running around just to send a non-factor home, but T-Core and Chemo had other plans. And we are grateful, really, for Quinn for telling them about the Pentagon Alliance in the first place and for them realizing that they were at the bottom of it and wanting to completely shake things up and turn everything on its head, which they did, and it has been great television to watch. Now, how do I actually feel about this move? I'm totally fine with it. It was a move that they made for their game. They were basically in the collective alliance to protect the Pentagon and be their numbers, and they felt like they had no say, and they had every right to do what they needed to do to make sure that they could be protected from that and be in the game longer and not just be there till jury and then get kicked out by everyone in the Pentagon. So I'm not mad at it at all. They clearly like Cedric as a person, but he is a good competitor and had the possibility of beating them and had more people on his side than theirs. So they had to do what they had to do. And to be honest, I'm liking the people that they're working with now as opposed to the people on the other side. So I'm really hoping that this new alliance that has formed, the Fishies or the Tank or whatever they're calling it, goes farther than the other side. To be completely honest, Tigor is like one of the few people that I was rooting for to win coming in here, so the fact that she is still safe is all I really care about at this point. I know a lot of people were frustrated with her and Chemo because they talked a lot of talk, didn't do a lot of do, but they didn't seem like that coming in to me. And now that this has happened and they've like done something successfully and have built themselves a better alliance around them and have more say and are still doing and moving, I'm hoping that the people's frustrations are over. I don't think that they are. Some people are mad that they made this decision, but I think it's fine, and I'm still rooting for them, and I think they're at least on the right track. Do I think that this move was made too early? So the thing about that with me is every time I watch this show, people talk about making big moves, but then they kind of quiet it down because they're like, oh, it's too early and we have to wait to get this person out. We have to wait until such and such time. We shouldn't do it. And then like they wait and then they're like, man, we should have got this person out before when we had the chance and when we were thinking about it earlier because we probably would have had more numbers. And then like that person ends up going farther than them, and that's extremely frustrating to watch. So it's very nice to see them be like, nah, we want to make this big move and we're going to make it now and it's going to make some big waves and cause some chaos, but we're going to do it and we're going to stand on it. And I know that there were a lot of people who were frustrated that they were in the back room pretty much the entire time before the HOH competition after the eviction. But see, I'm a person who I feel like I more so relate with T-Core and like how she navigates things, and I don't think that it was in their best interest to immediately confront the people that were shocked and blindsided by the vote immediately in that moment. People could have been yelling and screaming and it would have probably been great television to watch, but to be in that position immediately and to kind of have it be like when Cedric blindsided Tucker last week and it just be a big blow up and people yelling and saying things that they probably wouldn't have said if they were in a calmer state of mind. Yeah, it's fine for them to be away and to just process everything that happened and feel all of their feelings and then like think about what they're gonna say. Not that they're gonna be like running around making up a bunch of lies, but just making sure that what they say isn't just like a bunch of like yelling and screaming back and forth at the person, and that they can have an actual productive conversation. So I was fine with how they reacted. Even when chemo at the end, after Leah came in, sorry, this is stuff that was on the live feeds, cause so, spoiler, sorry, but chemo was starting to get like, yo, let's go, cause he got a little mad at stuff that was happening. So I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. I'm just here for the ride and I'm enjoying it. So before I get into the HOH comp, which is like even more spoilers, I'll just do my Tucker watch or Tucker tracker real quick and just say that things are looking much better for him than they were last week. And if you don't want any more spoilers, that's the end of that. Moving on to spoilers, Tucker won the wall comp, which is what I stayed up all night to watch, and was highly upset along with everyone else that they basically cut the very end from us, so we didn't really know who won, and then it took like 20 minutes for them to come back, and of course when they came back everyone was already inside, and so we just had to like look and see who had the HOH key around their neck, and it was Tucker. So he won, and it was down to him and Quinn, and apparently they tried to, or at least Tucker tried to negotiate with Quinn and gave him a deal, and Quinn didn't take it, and then he fell off. So that's what we have to look forward to seeing on Sunday. But like Tucker had been basically training for this all week, so I was not surprised that he won. He was looking a little shaky and kept moving around, so that was worrisome. But honestly, I would have rather seen a Tucker HOH this week as opposed to maybe like a Cam who came in third place, which is wild because he's been such a non-factor. And if he was HOH, then it probably would have just been Chelsea and Brooklyn's HOH, and he would have really had no say in anything, and they would have just dictated everything like they do. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Speaking of Chelsea and Brooklyn, I do not like them as a duo. Honestly, I like Chelsea by herself, sans Brooklyn, and I think that once they started talking more, that they kind of just like started getting on my nerves. Chelsea was someone that I was rooting for in the beginning, along with T-Core, and I don't know, she's just been frustrating me now. And I don't know if it's because of the power that she had and the control that she was having around the house, and it was just like borderline cocky. But yeah, I just feel like her and Brooklyn are not good together, and Tucker's target for the week is Brooklyn, and I'm hoping that she leaves because I think that with her gone, Chelsea would probably stay close with T-Core and still be on her side and be a number. Brooklyn was already running around the house blaming everything on chemo and T-Core, so we don't need her for that reason. But I think that T-Core and Chelsea could have a better relationship if Brooklyn was not involved at all. I think that those two, Brooklyn and Chelsea, are close because of the whole like religion thing, because they talk about it a lot, especially with MJ too, which is why I think MJ is leaning more on their side, which brought Leah over to T-Core and them's side. So it's all very interesting, and it also seems like Quinn is moving over to the like Chelsea side of things, even though he said that his real loyalties lie with T-Core and Chemo and Joseph. Who knows if that like still is even a thing at this point anymore. So yeah, and I also think that T-Core and Chemo are still in the good graces of Cam and Chelsea, who voted to keep Cedric. Brooklyn is the one who's like the outlier in all of this, and she is just like so pissed off about everything. And I don't know if the conversations that they have with her are going to ease that, but she's the target, and they want to protect Chelsea, and for some reason still want to protect Quinn. So I think they're still going to be pushing hard for Brooklyn to go, and hopefully that's what happens this week. That's what I would like to see this week. But I think that T-Core and Chemo have so far been able to salvage everything that happened and have been able to do damage control, and that Brooklyn is the only person that it probably won't work with, but they have the numbers to get her out this week. So as long as she doesn't win veto or the AI arena, I think they're pretty good. So yeah, I think that's all that I have to say. Um, this this season is serving everything we needed it to serve as BB fans. And we are forever grateful for this being a good cast, at least, and like the people that got out early. It's a good thing they got out early because everything feels like refreshed and great now. It's still hilarious that Angela is there, and my feelings toward her flip flop back and forth all the time. Sometimes she gets my nerves. Sometimes I think it's awesome that she's still around. But yeah, that's like even with Tucker too. Last week I wasn't too fond of him, but this week I'm like, yeah, you know what? He's cool. I'm good with it. I like their 6-person alliance that they've made. And I'm looking forward to see how this week and the rest of the season plans out. So let me know what your thoughts are. All right, until next time.